Alright, here we are at the back of the car, and this is your differential box here. Up here is your fill plug, and that you want to loosen first before you move on to the drain plug. As you can see, I got my car up on jacks. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4 right behind that piece of wood there, my jack here. And what we're going to do is the car is level. Might be slightly higher in the back, but it's pretty much level, as you can see, straight down on 4 stands. And so again, before we start, you want to loosen that fill plug right there. And that is going to be a huge Allen wrench. I believe a 14 Allen wrench or Hex Key. And again, that is your fill plug. Loosen that first before you move on to your drain plug, which is right there. Right there, right where my light is. Loosen fill plug first, then come over here to drain plug. So for all my other videos, this is what I bought here for my oil changes, up to 10. And I'll put a link in the description box where you can buy all these online. Obviously 10 does not fit that huge rear differential. Luckily, my dad was at a garage sale and he picked me up some big dogs. I'm talking huge. Look at the size difference from the 10. You know, I might have even 18 here. So anyway, you need a 14. This is the oil I use. Some people like Redline. I just picked this up. This was nice. You can buy this online. 75W90 Mobile 1 LS synthetic gear lubricant. A lot of people on the forums and stuff like that like Mobile 1. You're going to need more than 1, less than 2, so I just bought 2. And I also have a pump that I use. I'm doing the pump that goes right into the bottle and the squeeze pump, just like my transmission fluid video. And I'll show you that. Here's my pump. And you might run into this problem if it's too thick right here and it doesn't go in. What we're going to do is we're going to take this guy and we're going to saw off the top of that, being careful not to dump any plastic inside. Just like this here. Just saw it back and forth, just snip off the top. Okay, top is sawed off cleanly, no plastic got in, and that slips on down. And then you have your pump here, and then this is a really good pump. See how those little prongs go inside the fill hole, and they actually kind of secure in place. It's kind of hard to see there, but there's little rivets. There you go. You can see that right there, little rivets. This pump is a really cool pump. I'm going to buy one like this. My tranny fluid one doesn't have this. Let's see. That's actually right here. My tranny one, see, it does not have it. It just is clear plastic on the bottom. This thing sucks. I'm actually going to get a new one. So this one with this little guy on the end, that's the ticket. This is the one you want. Just as a precaution, your fill plug, again, that's the first one I'm doing. That one was stuck on there really bad. I'm sitting on 109 on my my engine. I don't think it's ever been changed before. I drive a lot of miles, so that 109 went by quick. I'm the second owner, so that I got in there, like I said, about 14 mil. Okay, and the thing was really jammed on there. So what I had to do is, because this one has a very kind of small end to it like this, I actually had to put this in here, and then on the end of it here, while it's in there, I had to knock it a little bit like that with a rubber mallet or a hammer to kind of bang that loose a little bit. Now it's finally loose. So now with this one loose, let's move over to the drain plug. Again, if this one's stuck on here also, again, hold it nice and tight with obviously 2 hands, and then pound on that right there to loosen that up. Now with this loose, let's go ahead and put our thing underneath and catch the fluid. And this stuff's going to be flying out of here. Probably shouldn't be filming this, probably should concentrate on the direction of it, but and then let's let it rip. Oh, here's a little bit there. Oh, and there we go. That's actually not too bad for 109 on the clock. And then I got a little cleanup to do, but that's why you got your newspapers. So that's actually not too bad. Oh, she's chugging on me. And just give it a few minutes and let all that just kind of slowly drip out. There's no rush. Now that that is draining, if you want to get some air in there, you can loosen that one all the way up. Get some air in there to, push everything out, but most likely you don't need to. As I'm waiting for the differential fluid to just empty out, last couple drips, let me show you the old ones. Now on the forum boards, they say buy some new ones. They say new crush washers, but it's integrated into the fill plugs. So what I did is, you know what, some people, they just throw the old ones back on, but for like $5.49 from the dealership, even cheaper probably online, get yourself some new ones. So this is the old, they're the same size, 14 mil. Fill plug and drain plug are the same size. These are the old ones. Integrated, that green integrated O-ring. Some people call it a crush washer. And here is the new one. Obviously, not much of a difference. There's the other one, second one there. And so I bought. And now that we're done dripping, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and mop up the area. Get it nice and clean. And then we're going to take the new drain plug and hand tighten it in before we crank her down. And when you crank it down, just crank it down hamstring. Like about like that. And now we're over here at the fill plug, and it's off. The old one's off. We got our pump. We got our rear differential fluid. And let's go ahead and stick it on up. And see how that's holding in there with those little prongs? Very good. Now, make sure those little prongs stay on the outside of the hole. Do not push that thing all the way in, because it's going to get stuck in there. For some reason, if you've done that and that little black tip has dropped in, then what you got to do, you got to come around here, unloosen your drain plug, and fish it out with some needle nose pliers. You should be able to see it right there. As you can see here, I got a slight lift in the back. It's not completely level. So I'm going to go up front and jack it up a few inches to get that perfectly level. Alright, we're on our first bottle, so let's go ahead and pump away. And I'll be back. Sometimes your pump won't be able to reach the bottom. So what I did is I just took my razor blade, chopped off the top. This is my second one here, and I'll show you, got about that much left in it from the top. So I got that much left in my second one. Car is level. I still haven't had any constant drip out, which means I got to keep on pumping. That's when you know you're full. Nice little constant drip there. Just in case you pushed it one too many times, let it drizzle just for a second, and then pop that plug back in. But that's how you know you're full. And then, after you see that constant dripping, take your new fill plug, the second one you bought at the store, and tighten it back up. And again, tighten this to hand strength where you're not a bodybuilder type muscle, but just enough where right about there. Perfect. So Before I finish up, I always like to go back over it, double check that it's tightened. And it's kind of a bad angle, but this is your drain plug. And always just double check, make sure that they're tightened all the way. You don't want to be losing fluid on the highway. So drain plug tight, fill plug tight, check, check, and we're almost done. So one telltale sign before I finish up this video. You're wondering, has my rear differential fluid ever been changed on your car if you've bought it pre-owned? Well, one telltale sign is once you get the car on jacks, even though I just did a fresh change, see this black where the oil was on the, kind of goes through the dirt. Well, it gets a little bit, fades obviously, but you're still going to see some of that. And that's one sign of it has been changed, is you're going to see some colored discoloration. Instead of, if it's never been changed, it's going to be like this all over, just like it was before in the first part of this video. Now, you come over here, it's a little bit harder to see here, but obviously also look for, you know, oil markings right here from when they filled it up and the constant dripping down. So anyway, that's one telltale sign of if your fluid's ever been changed. Alright, and that is it. That's how you change the rear differential fluid on your BMW E65 E66. And again, check out my other vids. Got a bunch of other ones. Think about subscribing if you're into it. And God bless and have a good day.